Ah, welcome to a Fancy Reviews. Well, I am your fancy boy, and I will be reviewing the fanciest of all things that money can buy. My standards are high. I accept nothing less than exquisite design, perfection in execution, and nothing fit less than for the elite. It is quite dull outside, and thus me and my queen spent our weekend and our precious resources and time in the exterior world playing with these wonderful artifacts. I'm of course telling you about the articles of entertainment so that the fanciest stores that is known as Dollarama. I will let my non-educated underling present you the facts and the thoughts as my beautiful voice is a song, and if it is on repeat, the notes will become sour and I must play my perfected orchestra on concert. Toodles! Well, I guess that's me, the underling. Thanks for having me, fancy boy. As the underling, we played 5 different Dollarama games, which were darts, air hockey, foosball, finger fighters, and archery. The first being a classic bar game introduced way below the drinking age, and that has caused many more holes than even my arguments. Darts. Darts is a classic game that is always fun and is very hard to go wrong with something as simple as throwing it into something and having it stick. It's hard, but it is not impossible. We started by obviously setting it up in a way in which it won't create a bunch of holes in the wall. We definitely had darts in the basement, and we know how much the house value must have gone down with the amount of holes that we created in that basement. But this wasn't either real darts or metal darts. There were these little pillars in which the darts would get stuck between them. Once it gets between these 2 pillars, the compression force, it is going to keep the darts in there. Now that is the idea, and the engineering behind them shouldn't have passed university because it didn't work at all. No matter what we did, we played it continuously, way more than anyone would have expected us to play with this Dollarama game, but we just wanted to win and it just didn't work. It kind of ruins one important feature of the darts, which is it staying in the thing. Imagine throwing spaghetti at a wall and it just never sticking. Your expression would never work. And those 2 things don't really go hand in hand. We are reviewing darts game. We just did that. What do you give it? 1 out of 10.
4, because it's cute.
Because it's cute.
Yeah.
Because it's cute. Okay, but did it work?
No.
No, it did not. It did not. I give it a 1. I give it a 1.
Because it's cute?
Yes, only because it's cute. It's not gonna last that long. It doesn't really work that well. We tried so many different ways. We tried hard, quick, fast, and then we also played darts after that. That was a dirty joke.
Yeah.
That was a dirty joke.
Oh, great.
So
A little delay here.
we are going to now try the air hockey table. So let's see how that goes.
Let's go.
It's definitely not air hockey. I don't know why I keep using those words, and I have the power to change them, but I just want to say air hockey. It's more of a pinball table where you go pinball against each other. There's gotta be a word for it. After we set it up, we played a simple game to 5, multiple times, again and again. Look, I love her, but man, she always wins in these things. Regardless of how seriously we took these dollar store games, just somehow she still wins. She won my heart, so she can win that all the time. We even tried different angles, sides, tried playing different colors. The engineering behind this one was a little bit more meticulous, so there wasn't really an advantage on one side versus the other. The one bad thing is when you do play with it, it's a flimsy piece of plastic. It's not super heavy, it's not stationary, so it does move a lot. So if you get really intense and into it, it's just not going to stay where you want it to. And it was so close to being enjoyable. I think there is an importance to scale. If it was just a little bit larger, I think a little bit more scale, it definitely was so close to being fun. It is definitely one of those short-term enjoyments, but let's talk about that. From 1 out of 10, what do you think? Was it worth it?
5,
5. What do you give it a 5?
because I won the game.
Oh, because you won? Because you won? I think I'd also give it a 5. But I think it's just really simple. A 5, I probably wouldn't get it anywhere else. Yeah, it was okay. 5, I'm thinking a 4. I'm thinking a 4. A 4. Yeah, going down to 4. Okay, so we are going to try. The next one is the other sport one. Foosball. That's what it's called.
Football.
Football? Isn't it foosball?
I'm not sure.
Foosball? The Foo Fighters love foosball? Foosball! It took a lot more setup. It's not gonna be the same fun as your childhood experience of setting up Lego or Roblox if you were one of those abominations who didn't have Lego. Roblox, they're actually really good. I'm sorry about that. Because of this IKEA furniture simulation, it is not good for kids who want to chew things. Yum, 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 yum. You'll be eating delicious plastic. It had the same flaws as the air hockey games. It's not stationary, so obviously when you get really into it and you try to do those super hard spins, it's gonna move around and you're gonna mess up. I'm not a foosball expert, but I did play a foosball grandmaster here in BC, which is an intense title. Think about that. The title of grandmaster. I know chess can have that too and many other activity games, but grandmaster. Learning those tips and tricks and playing with them, this is obviously not the same thing. You get to control two guys and the table's just not the same. You don't get to spin it super hard and go those super hard hits and try to snipe it into the goal. It was also hard to tell when it did go in the goal. It just bounced right out. It didn't stay. The game didn't really pause. It's just so close to being enjoyable. If it had a little bit of scale, like 2 extra lines or guys or something in there, the scale just a little bit bigger, it would be way more fun. But mini football, you're right. It doesn't say foosball, it says mini football. 1 out of 10, that's what we're doing, right?
1.
1?
Yeah.
Okay, why 1?
Because it didn't work the way that I was thinking.
I would actually give it about a 4 as well. A 4 or 5, just like the other one, because you would probably play it just as long. You can still feel like it's foosball a little bit. Just having just the 2 guys. I know when you get better at foosball, there's so many different tricks that you can do in this one. But we got 2 more. I'm really looking forward to the other one because it's like a childhood sock and bop and robots.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay, let's try it. Finger fighters. I was so excited to enact my childhood dream. One of those toys that I just never got my hands on. I saw the commercials, I saw the games, and I just wanted to play them. The sock 'em, bop 'em robots. Out of the package, we started whaling those plastic fisticups, and we're just hoping that one of the heads are gonna pop up and gonna realize, yeah, I'm gonna win. Blue all the way, always blue team. And we found out in 3 seconds that my childhood dream is just gonna have to be that, a dream, because it's nothing like sock 'em, bop 'em robots. They're just 2 plastic guys that kind of just wail their arms, just like how I would do boxing, and that's it. Just arms go up and down and you pretend the plastic people fight until one of you give up. Maybe that was the lesson. Maybe you're just supposed to keep fighting until one of you gave up and we gave up. What does that say about us? That we don't like finger fighters. I think that's what it says. Finger fighters. Again, not Foo Fighters this time. I mean, you could put those 2 Foo Fighters. 1 out of 10. What are you gonna say?
I can say 1 because it's
1?
cute, and if I cannot use cute again, I would say 0.
Oh, you're giving it a 0?
Yeah.
Okay, why 0? Why 0? Because it didn't do...
Because we cannot know like the person's wins,
Yeah.
or you know.
I was thinking same thing. I thought it was gonna be like Sock and Bob and Robot. Did you ever have that as a kid?
Yeah.
So, you know, they're fighting them, the bling, and the head goes up, and then you reset it. I thought that's what it was going to be.
Bing!
Wow. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was just and that's it. It didn't do, and it was not even close to Sock and Bob and Robots. So I give it a 1 because it can still move. You can't really do anything with them. Everything else you can play again. This one you really can't. But we got 1 more. It's the one I'm most excited for.
Me too.
Archery, arrows. So yeah, let's go for it.
Let's go.
Archery, which is very simple in concept. It's a bow, it's an arrow, and you shoot. There's something about our primate brains that just love and enjoy this super simple concept. We played 3 different games with the archery set. You shoot the target, which was our least favorite, shooting cups or your own targets, which was definitely the most fun, and the least parental approved game, which was catch the arrow in the air. When I was a teenager, I learned archery in my backyard. That did not translate at all here. It's plasticky stuff. It's obviously not gonna be like the real stuff. Hitting the targets was the most fun. And if you have more targets, you can go on for hours, find new different targets to shoot. You even shoot windows because it's not gonna break anything and it's just going to stick. Another fun way was just catching it, which was also fun. But you can expand on this with hitting with sticks, karate chop it, trying to catch it in the air, trying to hit it out in the air. And if you got multiple of this, playing some sort of archery tag with targets on your back. There is definitely something else that you could do with this, but let's talk about that a little bit more. We did two different games.
Yeah.
We did just shooting on the target and we did shooting the cups. Let's start with the target one. What do you give the target one?
8.5.
8.5 for the target one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's my number for both.
I don't know, the target, I'm giving it a 6.
Okay.
Because you can come back to it, but it doesn't feel like you're getting much better at it. I feel like how difficult it would be to get in the center has more to do with luck than skill. Shooting the targets, the red cups, what would you say? That was 8 and
8.5.
8.5? Why, because you won?
Yeah.
I would give it a 7.5. We could actually hit the targets. It was fun, different games. It's one that I would actually play again. The target one I wouldn't play again. That one I would play again.
Same.
You get to shoot and I try to catch it. What do you give that?
Amazing.
1 out of 10.
10.
10? because either I catch it or you hit me. I give that one an 8. Yeah, that was our Dollarama games. Don't do it. Please, I have a family. If we're looking to save money to find adventures such as Groupon and Airbnb, because I'm just an underling and I need to save money, I have links down below. Are you going to try it yourself? Which one of your favorite fancy boy objects of entertainment did you enjoy the most? And you can let your silly little words down in the comments below, or you can take up your presence with me on the social media, but I will fancy on with you. On to the next adventure.